Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Brahmanandam Param Sukhadam Kevalam Jnana Murtim Dvandvatitam Gagana Sadrisham Tattvamasya Laksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamacha Sarvadhi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatitam Trigunaraitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Om. Adoration to Sadguru, who is Brahman, the giver of supreme bliss, embodiment of pure consciousness, one without a second, vast as the ether, infinite, eternal, beyond the three gunas and their modifications, the supreme preceptor. Yoga Vasistha, Sthiti Prakarana, and section number is 18. And profound insight is being given into the role of mind. And mind can be pure or impure. With impure mind, soul continues to enter into the cycle of birth and death without any end. With pure mind, the soul doesn't have to enter anywhere. The soul realizes, I am that. For easy understanding, think of the sun. Pure mind, the sun is there where it is, doesn't go anywhere. Impure mind, sun has gone into many reflections. There are countless reflections of the sun, and they are all struggling. No two reflections are with the same predicament. They have long stories to tell. The seer is the only reality behind all that is seen. All illuminations, day by day, that one experiences, the source of all illuminations is the sun. So sun is described as the seer. And all the reflections, all illuminations are described as a seen. Following this allegorical description, seer implies the source of what you are. There is sun-like source, pure awareness. Not awareness of here and there and everywhere, but awareness as it is. That awareness is the source, that's the seer. And all that one experiences led by projections of the mind, vrittis of the mind, all that you experience has emanated from the seer like mirage, not reality. In other words, all that you experience through your senses, that will not be your permanent attainment. Nothing in the world that you can put your hand on and say, oh, I've found it and I will live with it forever. The very hand that you use is not going to help you. it gets the rheumatism. So, move your attention away from the realm of senses. What about your feelings? Now your feelings are similarly constantly shaky. You secure your good feeling, work very hard and put all the ducks together, take a wonderful trip, everything goes well. Your feeling gets a little satisfaction. But that's not going to be forever. So your feeling world is also shaky world. And in the realm of your understanding, first stage of understanding is intellectual grasp. That's completely shaky. Even science makes it shaky. Whatever way you understand today, 3 years later, there is more progress in it. So it's not your complete understanding. I'll put it in a very practical way. Whatever you understand through your intellect as your prosperity, and that you have secured everything for yourself, your children, your grandchildren, and you have done all that you have to, that you conceive on the basis of your intellect, that's completely a big illusion. Absolute reality is the seer, the absolute self, the light of lights. Who is the knower? Who is the seer? There's questions put place by Vedanta. Who is experiencing through your personality? Your mind is worried about, I am, what will happen to me? But your mind has created an illusion about this term I am. The I am you are worried about has no worry. When you go to sleep, it slips away without telling you anything. It is that I am that relates to all worldly experiences, positive, negative, all. And that I am slips away. And you stay beyond it without any sense of loss, rather a sense of joy. How wonderful sleep. I didn't know anything. That simple point, how to assimilate it, that's a profound project before every individual. Just as one can identify the ocean with any of its numerous waves, in the same way Brahman is identified with any of the numerous names and forms of the illusory world through the mind. What simple way to understand. When you look at the ocean and you point to someone, look at the ocean. Your finger goes and someone associates your finger to a particular wave. And so, that's the ocean, then where it is going? That particular wave has a mama wave, papa wave, has whole relationships So, this brings about lots of stories about. And if you were to allow your imagination to work, if one single wave gives you so much, countless waves who are looking at the world of vast world of endless trouble. At the same time, if you have pure mind, purity within, though the finger is pointing to the wave, your interpretation is finger is pointing to the ocean. Once there is the ocean, then you are not moving along with your fleeting emotion. You develop devotion. You get horripilation. I am the ocean. When the mind is purified, it rises beyond the barriers of the ego sense and is able to see numerous worlds sustained by the self. This subtle point needs to be understood well for sadhana in daily life. Instead of sitting down and worrying about your problem, first let me tell you, keeping your problem in view is perfectly normal. If you don't do that, go to a psychologist. It's perfectly normal. But then, you are not meant to stay normal. Your goal is to be nirmal. Difference, nirmal means mind free of all impurities. Even the pressure of ego, mind dominated by ego, that's the source of all impurities. So, have a normal mind and move towards being nirmal. But what happens if ego sense dominates your mind? Then you have, just like the outside world may have wonderful breeze and beautiful peacocks dancing, but you have closed all that and you are inside your house and kept some gluey things smelling. Onions, garlics. So though you are surrounded by, enfolded by expansion, yet you are living in a miserable way. That's what the role of ego that dominates the mind. And one doesn't know where to go. That's the only world you know, ego-dominated mind. Sadhana opens a window to go beyond ego domination. And you begin to get a taste of it through satsanga, through your meditation, through your japa, through acts of generosity, kindness, by developing divine good qualities. A little creek occurs, a little channel opens that lets you understand that you are not all the ego. but who are beyond. Ego-dominated mind, that's what the world process is. And that world process, if you want to understand intellectually, it's beyond imagination. There are worlds in the mind, in the vast ether, in the rocks and blazing fires, also in surging waters. It's all allegorical description. Whatever you are seeing is not a reality. And this point is brought out in Yoga Vasistha, the world within world. And how many worlds? First, the term world, not ordinary, it's the whole cosmic cosmos, Brahmanda, the universe. Consider the entire cosmic set as one little grain of sand. Think of a dark room during the day and little slit opening in your window, bringing a beam of light. And that beam of light is filled with scintillating dust particles. Consider each dust particle as a cosmos, as a universe, as a world system, whichever you like. Now, therefore, try to figure out how many world systems are there. Just in your room, one little beam is bringing you countless. And what's more horrible, even in that world system, every little dust contains countless world systems. Shouldn't become too surprised with our technical advancement. In your computer, you bring in the whole world from Alaska down to New Zealand, all over. And all that comes sometimes just in one little file of yours. And within one program, you bring many more files. So there is no end to it. There are worlds within the mind, in the vast ether, in the rocks, blazing fires, what to human beings seem like rocks. But think of from profounder point of view, even from realistic point of view, rocks are not impenetrable, they are all with holes. The holes with the rocks are filled with lots of worms, germs, they live a whole world in it. And what we consider blazing fire, surprising, even they contain life principles. This world is permeated by worlds, and each world is in turn permeated by numerous other worlds. In other words, You are dealing with Maya, layers of illusion. And this type of understanding, that we live in a world with the main purpose of peeling off layers of illusion. Basically, subjectively, you have 5 big layers of illusion, called panchakoshas. Just to enumerate, physical body, your annamaya kosha, food sheath, that's not you. That's your instrument. That's why you say, this is my body. You don't say, this is me. Of course, some people say, if you're childish, and then come to next level, what's the body? If the pranic vitality is not operating and sustaining every cell of the body has no meaning. Then prana. But then there's that vitality, if it is not controlled by a thinking process, you will be wildlife. The controlling aspect is the mind. So you have the body, annamaya kosha, pranamaya kosha, manomaya kosha, mind. And if the mind is not able to evaluate things with precision, so the evaluating aspect of the mind, intellect. Intellect and ego, together called Vijnanamaya Kosha. But all these are layers of illusion. As you advance, you go on shedding these layers, not literally, you don't take it out and put it somewhere, hang it. You go on surviving illusion after illusion. And if you have really transcended illusions, you don't look back. An illusion cannot be found anywhere. But adversity that you have survived and you can look back and it's still there, you have not really faced your adversity through wisdom. I'm speaking very advanced language. Such a penetrating vision is possible only through the purified mind of a yogi. So to understand purified mind, turn your attention to 5 kleshas. Thought waves that are overcast by or tainted by 5 afflictions. Ignorance is the source of all afflictions, called avidya. Out of ignorance comes egoism. Ego is not a reality, as I have already explained. Out of egoism, raga dvesha. Things happen in daily life. From one angle, you find the things good for you. Another angle, you don't like it. And you dangle between angles. So, That's what happens when mind is under the control of ignorance, egoism, then you are dangling. So when the mind looks at things and considers them agreeable, immediately the mind creates a will. May those objects be with me permanently. That's called raga. Now you are not so much interested in taking advantage of the objects, but interested in seeing they are under your possession. The big mango tree. And you are feeling proud that it is your mango tree. And in that pride you forget that the fruits are being eaten up by monkeys. This is to understand the role of sentiments. Sentiments they give you flavor in your mind, but they don't give you real substance. And this, another point. What seems so pleasant in the morning it's pleasant, by the evening it becomes unpleasant. Or this month it is pleasant, next month is unpleasant. Or 4 years pleasant, next 5 years unpleasant. And the mind gets caught by the illusion of raga and dvesha. You live a whole life to secure what you once loved. And if by your good karma it becomes possible, you realize you are still empty. What you work so much to secure, and by the time you were feeling like I have attained whatever, the very you is in the shaky grounds. You are ready to kick the bucket. This is the humorous world. But you can feel humorous in a satsanga situation. Otherwise, it's tumorous. The majority of countless souls continue to wander from one dream world to another. Yet, in spite of this, some rare souls perceive the world as the illusions of dream and therefore discover their essential nature. They wander no more. And therefore, let's enjoy it. As I was explaining to you, or turning your attention to kleshas, let me conclude on that. Ignorance, egoism, attachment, hatred, and fear of death. These are 5 kleshas, afflictions. And they envenom your mind by their impressions. And the mind unawares goes on developing these impressions day by day. Gripped by kleshas, the mind is called nirmal, or rather full of malas. And when you do sadhana and develop spiritual evolution based on Vedantic understanding, when you evolve by the practice of integral yoga in daily life, then the mind called nirmal. Nirmal mind. In other words, how much you are free of fear of death. What are you doing about it? How much can you keep your mind in a state of serenity and enjoy peace, not waiting for something to happen in future. 7 years later, something is coming to me. So, the good vision is there of you. Not like that. It should be your daily item. How much can you develop love that is not shaky constantly? Love that is secure, God's love. Devotion. Raga becomes sublimated by bhakti. And how to feel free from the pressure of ego. In yogic world, it's called yoga nidra. Without going to sleep, relax yourself and leap out of this world of stress. Bring to your mind that image of deep sleep without sleeping. Hold the entire experience of deep sleep without slightest trace of normal sleep. That becomes possible. That's called samadhi. It is that samadhi experience that leads you to self-realization. From a wandering or shaking reflected sun, come to realize I am the sun. From the illusion of dream within dream, you come to awakened state. When the intellect turns towards the self, the internal and external aspects of the world process vanish from one's view. To understand that in a simple way, if you are watching a film, I call it cinema show, your mind goes into the story of the show. In that story, you have the concept of how a whole army goes into a castle. First it was outside the castle, now they have gone inside the castle. Now you are curious, what is inside? So your mind is working with inside, outside. And Vedanta says, turn your mind inside. That inside does not refer to this concept of inside, outside. Turn inside means move away from all the show, look at the screen. Turn your attention to the screen that has created the illusion of in and out. That's called antaranga movement. internal movement, same word, internal. From a lesser point of view, it is as illusory as external. But advanced internal transcends both internal and external. In dream, you are having internal, external experiences. Wake up, you are transcending both concepts of internal and external of your dream world. In simple way to understand, when we say internal, it means intrinsic reality. Brahman is the intrinsic reality behind the world of illusion. And mind turning towards the source leads the soul to attain self-realization. When the intellect turns towards the self, the internal and external aspects of the world process vanish from one's view. Or just as through the awareness of the gold as essence, the differences in ornaments of gold become illusory. Another simple illustration is given. When you look at gold, you are looking at two ways. If you are just gold merchant, whenever any gold piece you see, you view it, it's gold, and you put it in your language of your business as dealer of gold. But people who have golden ornaments, those ornaments tell them so much a story. Sometimes they want to wear it, but they keep it with a view of being so precious. If any guest comes in their house, they take the person to that corner where that precious jewel is there. And with great care, the magic box opens. An old crafted ornament, not interesting at all. Nevertheless, has a big story to tell. This is great, great, great grandfather. Was it the time of Lincoln? And what a story. His person who owns it, his son lost it in the ocean. It took 3 years. Magic. They went to the same ocean and they found it. I'm just giving simple samples. So, everyone, this is the things you own, the sense of mamata, mindness. You are owning the same substance, gold. But on that gold, your mind has created illusion after illusion. Everyone possesses the same stuff. Stuff. Satchidananda. Existence, consciousness and bliss. That's the gold. That's the only material of which the whole world is created. But all names and forms to every soul, out of that gold, mind has fashioned lots of Jiva Srishti, lots of their own creations. To put it in a very simple way to understand. In your dream, you are working with so many objects, etc. But the essence behind all that you are experiencing in your dream is you on the bed. Put it another way, every individual experiences vast universe. And mind is always harassed by so many stories of the past. So many things going to happen. Even before people start worrying about one day the Earth planet will not be there. What will happen? And they don't have the simple little common sense that one day you will not be there to watch it. So why are you worrying about it? So, when turn your mind to the essence, look at things that you see to your senses, to your mind. They are multiplicity of objects, multiplicity of realities, lots of things. But to intuitive mind, they are all gold. They are Satchidananda, existence, knowledge, bliss. They are all nothing but awareness, pure consciousness. That consciousness cannot be split up. So it is not 1, 2, 3, it is just one without a second. The sun is one. Illuminations are countless. And illuminations go on changing every moment. But sun remains the same. Through your mind, you are led to the illusion of illuminations, illusion of consciousness that has become refracted into so many types of experiences. Experiences through your thoughts, experiences through your emotions, experiences through your practical function of senses. All these are Mayaik, magical refractions of pure awareness. Beware. Do not be lost in these refracted awareness. Pure awareness doesn't change. And that's what you are. Aham Brahmasmi, I am Brahman. Now you have become a good goldsmith. Just as through the awareness of the gold as essence, the differences in ornaments of gold become illusory. In the same way, with the realization of Brahman as a non-dual reality, this world, along with countless other worlds that form the fabric of Maya, are seen to be unreal. The disease of jivahood is cured by taking recourse to the medicine of spiritual enquiry. This is a medical terminology. What do you suffer from? The answer is bhava vyadi, the disease of the world process. Led by this disease, you experience death after death. You become a serial killer of your own soul. Atmahano jana. In one life you experience death. Next life again you are waiting to do the same thing. Torture after torture. And the mind doesn't work to remedy it. So this is the big disease that people don't have insight into. No matter how much you have attained in the world, all that success doesn't count even a grain of sand unless your success links you to sadhana, links to a process of purifying the mind, developing devotion, sublimating emotion, attaining enlightenment. If that purpose starts, then life is purposeful. If it does not, just living, then you are more foolish than animals. They are at least fulfilling the process of evolution. But a human being is dangling in the cycle of birth and death. So, this is bhava vyadi, disease of the world process. And what is the remedy? Spiritual enquiry. Practice of vichar. And in order to practice vichar, your mind must develop keen interest in understanding who am I, what's the nature of this world. It's called jignasa. An aspirant should be a jignasu, curious to know, not a curious cat. So if your mind enjoys the spiritual inquiry, if that curiosity tickles your mind, there is no better tickling of your mind than that curiosity that allows you to listen to talks of Yoga Vasistha, Ramayana, Mahabharata, learn scriptures from a profound point of view. In spite of whatever the news in the world, you find yourself cozy and comfortable. So that's the medicine. Dosage depends upon different people. And yes, regarding the dosage, as long as this inquiry doesn't gain a firm hold over one's mind, so long will one continue to suffer from this chronic disease. So in other words, continue to take this medicine inquiry until it has got a firm hold, until you become deeply in harmony with your remedy. That's what happens with everybody. Doctor advises a pill. The patient is not sure the pill will do any good. But the good doctor, and you have patient. Having taken few pills, oh, it's a good one. So, practice of enquiry, it becomes firmly convincing to your mind. Once it has developed, you have taken recourse to the real remedy, and you are going to cure the disease of the world process. And that's the biggest attainment. The majority of countless souls continue to wander from one embodiment to another. Some rare souls are able to find this remedy. Kashchit dhira pratyagatmanamaikshat. The Kathopanishad says. There are millions, thousands of people caught in the disease of birth and death. But of them, few rare souls have come to a state of harmonizing with the doctor. The doctor is guru, spiritual teacher, the source of scriptures. And the remedy is enquiry. Who am I? The inquiring process, put it in a broad way, is like hunger. When hunger comes within you, you are not using tongue, but you are feeling the need of having tasty things. Firstly, you want to have some food. Secondly, qualify it, delicious. Thirdly, nutritious. So, your inquiry process should be delicious. Second quality, nutritious. And anything else will come later. As a result of spiritual inquiry, a person experiences increasing dispassion toward the objects of the world. When raga or attachment wanes, then consider it as an unmistakable sign of success on the spiritual path. Now these are the symptoms of cure. You are getting free of the disease. One of the most prominent symptoms, you do not develop raga, attachment. You develop vairagya, dispassion. Detach and attach. First, this kind of a big riddle. No attach, detach. But to understand, to human mind, it creates trouble if you are not properly guided. Real detachment brings profoundest attachment. Attachment allegorical. God within everyone. With attachment, you are trying to fulfill your moha, your concept. You are not really, though you think you love my baby, my son, my husband, my wife, or whatever. But as long as moha is speaking, you are trying to satisfy yourself according to your way. Even in relationships, moha will not give good quality. It will restrict and cause big problems with the passage of time. And moha-based relationship will be always a source of constant stress. One day you harmonize with your people. Next day someone doesn't talk to you. Now you figure out, what did I say wrong? Lots of things. So moha-based attachment, relation seems very cozy, seems very warm and wonderful. That should not be. That should wane. But that doesn't mean that now you stay completely like a stone, unmoved by anybody. I'm completely detached. That's again completely opposite. The spiritual movement is developing a heart that wishes good for all. Even if you don't even look at them, how can you wish good for them? However, you have to work it out according to your level. Practical points have to be followed by you. How much medicine? What is needed? Where you are? But if you are in a spiritual process, satsanga and daily sadhana, God within you begins to direct your attention. That's called work of grace. But all these things have to happen. The profounder form of love, not moha-based love, which is neither good for you nor for others. Higher love, nutritional for you and nutritional for others. Because it's bringing you closer to God. The same setup, and you can be loving God in people. And your heart will not be confined to the time and space. The love of your heart will continue to love humanity or the creation forever and for immortality. You try to understand the poetic language. And that's what happens with saints and sages. They didn't exist to love only when they were alive. But their love goes on forever. And that type of potentiality is there in every soul. So raga, instead of being attached, develop divine love. Allows dhamma, dan, and daya, three das to operate, controlling mind and senses, developing a generous heart, and turning all your negativity into positive, cruelty into compassion. If you are doing that, then the same world that creates so many problems now throws blankets or rather wonderful rugs in front of you, carpets with good colors. And with this I'm concluding. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.